Long before Baghdad, Akkad, or Uruk, and long before humans ever walked the marshes of Eden, the Arabian and Eurasian tectonic plates were separated by a vast and ancient ocean. Beneath those waters lay the land that would one day become Mesopotamia, a land that would shape the history of humanity itself. This is the story of its birth. We begin this video around 250 million years ago during the late Permian period. During this time, Earth experienced the most devastating mass extinction in its entire history. Nearly 90% of marine life was wiped out, reshaping ecosystems across the planet, including the region that would one day become Iraq. In the aftermath, Mesopotamia lay beneath a shallow, tropical sea. Life slowly returned, fragile but diverse. Brachiopods, clams, crinoids, ammonoids, and early coastal plants populated these raw waters and shorelines. Life was anything but static in the ancient seas, and throughout hundreds of millions of years, the ocean saw multiple megafauna come and go, as well as millions of other smaller creatures. Throughout the Triassic period, iramoids multiplied, and coral reefs began to form. By the Jurassic, ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs patrolled the Tethys Ocean, thriving as apex predators. During the Cretaceous, mosasaurs dominated the seas, while flowering plants began colonizing nearby landmasses and islands. Does any of this even matter today, you may be wondering? Well, these ancient seas were more than just habitats for mosasaurs. They laid the foundation of Mesopotamia's future wealth and the development of the rest of humanity. Over millions of years, thick layers of organic rich sediment sank to the seafloor. They were buried, compressed, heated, and eventually these layers would become the oil and gas reserves that billions of people rely on every single day. Other key resources that the world needs also formed here. Limestones from shells of corals used in construction for thousands of years, gypsum from evaporating shallow seas, also used for thousands of years, and sulfur and phosphate, formed through bacterial and marine biological processes, and these have been used in all sorts of purposes, from the first ever fertilizers to current day weapons of mass destruction. However, this ocean was always doomed to one day disappear, and by 30 million years ago, the two plates are now headed straight for collision. Tethys Sea gradually receded as the Arabian plate moved north, colliding with the Eurasia and raising the Zagros Mountains. While these mountains folded and rose in the north and east, southern Iraq slowly subsided, sinking under the weight of the mass accumulated sediments. This created a vast sediment trap, forming one of the flattest and most fertile plains on Earth. At the same time of this great collision, the Tigris and Euphrates rivers began to take shape. They carried silt, clay, and sand from the highlands and spread them across the plains, constantly renewing and fertilizing the soil. During this period, major climatic fluctuations also occurred. The region alternated between wetter and drier phases, with rivers expanding and contracting and global ice ages influencing rainfall patterns, all of which further shaped the landscape, turning the southern ends into what later humans would call Eden. Interestingly, during periods of very low sea level, the Persian Gulf did not even exist yet. Instead, it was often a fertile river basin or a large lake, a landscape that may have even been inhabited by the first humans before later flooding submerged it. The emerging fertile plains teemed with diverse and important animal and plant life. Just some of the animals that were included in this fertile plain were wild species of horses, antelope, elephants, lots of species of cats, hyenas, wolves, aurochs, and wild boars. Plants were just as important and interesting to human development. Just some of the flora included wild ancestors of cereals and grasses, grapes, dates, figs and pomegranates, olives, lentils, chickpeas, pistachios, almonds, and even licorice, all developed in the Mesopotamian plains. Together, these plants and animals shaped early human survival strategies, and later formed the agricultural foundation of Mesopotamia and the rest of the Fertile Crescent. Walking in Iraq today, we tread on land that once hosted ancient oceans, forests, and early mammals, and later some of humanity's first ever cities. Oil, gas, sulfur, limestone, and a plethora of the other resources mentioned today, and most importantly the fertile plains, have not only shaped Mesopotamia's past, but also the past, present, and future of humanity itself. These resources gave rise to agriculture, writing, law, organized religion, and state power, foundations of the modern world. Even today, if you were to look onto news, Mesopotamia and Iraq remains a region of global importance, drawing interest from countless world powers, just as it has from the dawn of human history. Thank you very much for joining this journey through time. In the next episode, we'll explore the first humans to walk these lands and how Mesopotamia's fertile and diverse environment began to cradle civilization itself. If you enjoyed this episode or found it in any way useful, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Every interaction helps more people discover the story of Mesopotamia.